Alrighty, Resident Evil Requiem, one of my most anticipated games of 2026. And by the time this video is out, the game is going to be released in 3 days, so Thursday. But anyway, I wanted to make this video just talking about things I want to see and just kind of my little wish list of the game. But before that, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so the game releases in like 3-4 days, right, by the time this video is up, and I really wanted to make this video just talking about things I want to see happen, right, and some things I definitely don't want to see, right. But let's start with number one. So I really am curious on how the gameplay sections are going to be against Grace and Leon, right, and just my kind of hope that this doesn't happen, right, is like you're playing Leon, right, and then you switch to Grace and you just get that feeling and be like, oh no, I don't want to play as Grace, because it's just so slow compared to Leon's gameplay, right, because he's all about the action and just going crazy, right. So who knows, we'll see what happens with that, right. My guess is that obviously it's Capcom, they know what the heck they're doing, right, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna nail it with both protagonists, right? Because if you look at Grace's sections, right, it's definitely more like Resident Evil Biohazard, right, with like sneaking around, stealthing around, being scared all the time, right? And Leon's gameplay is like Resident Evil 4 for sure. I mean, come on, right? And yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be weird because the people who like playing as Leon so much is like, as soon as they go to Grace, they're like, oh man, now we gotta play as Grace, right? Who knows? That could happen. It could not, right? It's just kind of a thing I look at, right? If you ever played the Spider-Man games, right, when you go to the MJ missions, it's just like a complete difference, right? I mean, I don't think that's gonna be the case here. I think both sides of gameplay look really good, and I'm very excited to play both sides and see what happens, right? But anyway, my next kind of point is going to be Leon. I cannot tell you how much I've seen across the internet just about Leon. He might, die just because he's infected, right? He is infected by the raccoon virus, right? And is he gonna die? That's been like the common like little rumor around, and I hope not. I hope he really gets like a happy ending, right? I mean, come on. If there's one character in gaming who deserves a happy ending, I mean, it's him, right? It has to be him. He's been through so much, right? And I just feel so bad for him, right? And then now he's got to go back to Raccoon City, the police station, where it all started, right? And yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see his story develop throughout this game. Right, I'm very curious on how his story is going to be developed, because it's Leon. Like, you don't know what's really going to happen with him, right? It's just anything at this point, right? And the fact that he's already 50, so it's just going to be really interesting to see what happens with this character. But I hope he does not die. I hope he can like save himself or whatever. Somebody can save him, because I really do not want him to die. I mean, he's just such a cool and iconic character. I don't wanna see him gone yet, man. I love him too much. But yeah. All right. So let's go on to my next point. Right. I think my next point is going to be the performance of the game. I'm not actually too worried about this. Capcom, man, they deliver. Like, they don't mess around with their performance issues, right? They released like a NVIDIA little trailer about what their game's going to be running on PC and stuff, and man, it looks very good. So I'm very excited to see how the game runs in general. I think it looks, it's going to run really good, really good, because at the end of the day, this game's not a open world crazy, just big open world game like that, right? It's more linear for sure. So the maps aren't, they're big, don't get me wrong, but they're not just absolutely ridiculous, right? So they can really punch out this game, right, with just crazy graphics and performance. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about that, right? But yeah, who knows who knows? I mean, I think it's gonna be good, right? But yeah, all right. Moving on to my next point is going to be the story. I know I kind of just mentioned Leon, but I really wanted to open the scope a little bit here on just the story in general, right? Like, what are we going to be getting into? It's definitely going to be crazy. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be absolutely insane. But I'm just curious because, I mean, this is why I love Capcom, because when they make a story game, man, they really hide the details. Like, really hide the details. And sure, there are some people who say when they post a new trailer, like I think the last trailer they posted, I think it was like the fourth trailer. Um, Excuse me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it is, but people were saying like they showed too much. And I can understand because the story is just like one of the most valuable parts of the Resident Evil game for sure. So the story is a big thing, right? But I honestly didn't feel like they released too much, and especially of gameplay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the story I could say, but in my opinion, they've only shown like how many sections of the game, like the hospital section and then maybe the hotel section or whatever. I mean, that's it. I mean, we know really. I don't know any other sections really about the game, right? I mean, every time I see a gameplay trailer, they're back in the hospital or the clinic or whatever this is, right? The care facility, right? They're always back there. So obviously that's going to be a major part of the game, but I'm just really curious on how the story is going to go. And they did like show flashbacks in the last trailer of like this little girl and these SWAT guys and just Umbrella. So I think there's going to be a lot more about maybe Umbrella, which I'm more curious about because, as you guys know, I mean, obviously, Umbrella is the mastermind behind things, right? And it's going to be interesting. Just maybe seeing Umbrella get more of the spotlight this story. That would be very cool. I would love to see that because they're behind everything. I mean, they're the reasons why this all is kind of here, right? And there's like a little section Gideon was saying like about his master being so interested in somebody, like something like that, in the lines of that, right? That is interesting because that means there's someone bigger at play here, right? I'm not gonna say who I might think it is, but maybe Umbrella. I don't know. It's just somebody's behind the scenes for sure, right? And it's gonna be interesting. And I think Grace and Leon. I could be wrong, but I think they're gonna be the ones maybe to put the spotlight on the enemy who's behind the scenes, right? The person who they're gonna bring him to the spotlight, right? Yeah, so we'll have to see just what happens behind the scenes, right? Who knows what's really gonna be the end game for this game, right? Okay, moving on. My next thing I want to talk about is just the story length, right? What do I think the story is gonna be in length terms, right? I think it's gonna be a fairly long game. I heard a rumor about this game is gonna be like 9 and 9, so 9 hours Leon, 9 hours Grace, and that's actually a fair like a fair guess, right? I think it's not bad at all. So I think that could be a reasonable accurate because I think I heard also something about how this game's gonna be like 20 hours long, maybe a little more, and especially if you're going for like a completionist, like 100%ing every level or whatever, every map. It's probably gonna be a while in trying to get every collectible in the game. So it's definitely gonna be a bit, So I think it's gonna be probably similar to Resident Evil 4 in my opinion. If just I had to throw a guess out there, probably my guess. But yeah, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how the story really unfolds and just how long it's really gonna be. And I hope it is actually kind of similar, like 9 and 9, 9 hours Leon, 9 hours Grace, just because I feel like having one side more than the other would just feel like like I don't know. I think the more equal it is, the better, in my opinion, right? You don't want too much of one thing, right? So that leads me to my next thing is going to be just like the kind of rumors and stuff about this game and leaks and stuff. So this game, I think there's been like copies already out in the wild. So yeah, you gotta be careful because I think on the 25th, I believe, is when the reviews for the game start, coming out. So like IGN and GameSpot, they start releasing their reviews for the game, and a bunch of new footage will be coming out to the surface. And you definitely don't want to be watching that because if you're like me, I don't want to see anything more about this game. I feel like we've seen a good amount already, so I don't need to see any more. So I'm gonna really be on the lookout for those things and try to just avoid them as much as possible, right? Because I've seen too much. I've seen too much, right? But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm just so excited for this game. It just looks so cool. I don't like Capcom because they keep things under wraps, like I was saying. So it's just going to be really, really awesome to see what this game really has to offer when it releases. Just a bunch of new things in this game, right, that they've never done before. The new details are absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, super excited to see. But I think that's gonna wrap up my video, and yeah, be on the lookout because man, Thursday I'm gonna be posting a lot. So yeah, be on the lookout for that video, man. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to play it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.